Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for a new Ninjago episode review. We're checking out the 17th episode of Ninjago Season 15, The Coming of the King. This episode picks up where the last one left off, and we see the Overlord kind of prepare for the battle. He gives the Crystal Council powers, and he lifts up the temple into the sky. Lloyd uses this as an opportunity to escape, and he has several close calls, but he's ultimately able to outsmart the council and escape. As he's about to jump off, Ruby arrives and offers Lloyd a chance to join the Overlord. He refuses this offer, and then he does something interesting. He takes Ruby's hand and launches them both off into Primeval's Eye. At the Samurai X cave, the Ninja finally receive Lloyd's signal, and they decide to break the law again to go save him. I really like what I've seen of the Overlord in this season so far. I love that they're showing us his powers, and they're not waiting until the final episodes, which was a big issue in seasons 2 and 3. In this episode, we see him power up the Crystal Council, we see him lift the temple into the sky, and we see him activate the Vengestone Army, all in one episode. This episode really nicely conveys that a huge battle is about to start, and the build-up to that feels really strong. The Crystal Council is good here too. I love how they interact with each other, and it's nice to see their new designs. The mechanic and Asphere, I think especially, look very strong. The fights in this episode are really good. I love how the crystal weapons of Spinjitzu are used. It was especially clever how they had that one scene from the trailer where the weapons all touch and explode, just like in the previous seasons. Ruby, I think, is also pretty good in this episode. I've complained, I think, that the season wasn't really doing anything too new with her, but this episode does do new stuff with her, even if it isn't anything too big. We see her try to get Lloyd to join the Crystal King, and I feel like this was very similar to how she tried to get Lloyd to join the Sons of Garmadon in the Season 8 finale. So it's not anything too big with the character, but it's different than her just tormenting Lloyd for the 1000th time. As the main protagonist of this episode, Lloyd is definitely pretty good. I like his conversation with the Overlord about the past lore and seasons that we've seen him in. I don't have too much to say about the final scenes of this episode at the Samurai X cave, but I guess it's just a nice setup for the following episode. First minor complaint is the Overlord's voice is definitely hard to understand in places. I know that this is a problem other people have as well, but for some reason I think in episodes 13 and 16, the Overlord's voice was easier to understand. But my bigger concern is about the Lloyd and Ruby story. This season is making it very hard to see how the story is headed, and it's very uncertain, I think. And that's not a bad thing. I feel like in this episode, as a vacuum just by itself, the Lloyd and Ruby interactions at the end are fine, they're good. Ruby wanting Lloyd to join the Overlord is definitely a character for her. But if she ends up having romantic feelings, which she never had in Season 8, that would be really bad. And that would hurt this episode. But for now, I think we're good. The episode's plot is really good. Feels like a lot of nice build-up towards the final battle. And especially the Overlord, who is a great character here. I like how Crystalized is showing him getting ready for, and I guess preparing for, this final battle. Other characters that were good, Lloyd, of course. I feel like all of the Crystal Council was good, honestly. And Ruby was good too, for now at least. I'm still really concerned about her story in this season. The action was great. This was a very action-heavy episode, and it was all really nicely choreographed. And lastly, for emotion, I guess some of that Lloyd-Ruby stuff at the end, good for now. Depends how the remainder of the season handles it. This episode gets an 8.5 out of 10 for me. It was definitely weaker, I think, compared to the previous few episodes, but it was still overall really good. It has a lot of good setup for not just the next episode, but the rest of the season as a whole. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone you know. Share thoughts on episode 17, The Coming of the King, below, and I'll see you guys next time.